Hey guys, welcome back to part 4 on the P25 build. In this one here, we send out all the underbody components for powder coating. Then once they return, we completely fill them with Super Pro poly bushings, all brand new hardware. Then with that, we're able to make the car a roller, roll it into the paint booth, and as you see here, we get the primer on it. With that being said, let's go. Alright, so first thing we're going to do here is get the car over from our work side onto the hoist. So we are dropping it onto some dollies here, and the purpose for getting the car onto the hoist now is so that we can begin to assemble the underside of the car so that we are able to roll it into the paint booth for the primer. With the car up on the hoist now, we go from the front to the back off camera here, and we thread chase all of the mounting holes. After the epoxy and the bed liner and stuff like that, they get a lot of material in them, and it's not ideal just to ram the bolts in there. And then here is our original components. We did add in some new ones versus the old ones. We've had these all sandblasted and powder coated. Everything has been equipped with Super Pro poly bushings front to back, and then here we are starting to prep some of our edges that we couldn't get when we were working on the ground. Then here we have the P25 carbon hood vents. I didn't necessarily like the finish in these. They had a lot of pores and kind of cracks in the gel coat there. These we are going to prep, body work, and actually body color code them. Over here we have the complete chassis hardware set, at least for the underside. That's all brand new OEM. And then into some hood underside prep. This is an aluminum hood, which is definitely very fitting for this build. There we're having a bit of a discussion about these little dots in the overspray of the primer. We definitely don't want to leave that because it does come through in your top coat. Now we can finally start to assemble the underside of the car. We had a quick little session in the booth here, and I have the hood hinges done. I did these in just a base to match the underside of the hood. We got the front bumper primed, our hood vents, the rear bumper, and then the fenders, which these were significant work. So now we've got our pocket in there, fixed and rebuilt all the broken mounts. Then we got our trunk all into primer, and at the same time, we did the base coat on the underside of the hood and the trunk. Then here we have some brand new OEM spindles front and rear for the car. Shout out to our bud Steve at Sport Tech for putting these together. Much appreciated. These spindles are 5x114, which gives you all sorts of new possibilities for wheel fitment and also a bit more durable for the sake of performance. I'm going to go ahead, get these onto the car, and then there's one more really important thing I'm going to do towards the end, and that is to put a large nut and bolt through each of the spindles in place of the axle stubs. The reason I do this is when you move the car without the axle stubs in there, there's nothing to actually hold together the bearing. Now, if you don't go and do this, you do risk the chance of the bearing actually falling out of the spindle with the hub attached and likely your wheel attached. So this is something I do as a preventative, especially with these being brand new. I don't want to go and damage some expensive parts. Then to answer the question as to what arms we are using on this car, we're using the GD sedan arms. Now that the car is wider, these arms will help bring the wheels a little further out, which increases the track width, which also increases the performance. Then as well, don't laugh at our suspension. Again, this is just to move the car around. Those are 5x100 shocks, which actually do not fit the 5x114 front spindles. So what I've done is just kind of opened it up a bit, put the top bolt in, and with a good tighten, that should be fine for moving the car around until we actually get the suspension that's going to be used on this car. With the car now in the booth, we are all masked, and now I am ready to spray the epoxy filler primer on this. Our roof is pretty wild, it could definitely use it. We have this very thoroughly masked because we have the inside of the car painted and the underneath as well. In my traditional fashion, I'm going to start out with gray epoxy primer, and then I'm going to do probably 3 coats of black epoxy primer over top. Reason I do that is the black is nice and glossy, it has a built-in guide coat, and then leaving the gray underneath as our warning before we sand too far. So we'll cut back after this and show you guys a nice shiny black car. Now here we are back after primer. Everything turned out good. You really get a good idea of how well your bodywork was after you get the primer on, and for the most part it was really good, really happy with it. There you can see I hit the rocker as I was leaning in to do some color paint touch-ups, and my paint suit hit the rocker there. Otherwise, overall, very satisfied with our molding work. Everything looks great. There is a couple little funny things in the fiberglass that later we'll end up correcting, but on our side I'm quite happy with it. Roof turned out really good considering this was shipped all the way from Europe in a cardboard box with not much protection. So now what I'm going to do is, because we've bonded on the roof, the quarters and stuff, everything originally was held by clecos or self-tappers. We have all sorts of little holes coming through, and we have some runoff of the panel bond. We have nicked down all the panel bond, but what I want to do is not leave those little tiny black marks. So what I did was colored the inside of all of those edges as well as our roof supports.
Celebration in Mel's bedroom.
So after the first go of primer there, we had some spots we wanted to touch up and refine. It wasn't anything in our bodywork, it was more so the fiberglass shape itself. We did not want to leave some of the stuff that came through once we got the gloss black onto it. Otherwise though, pretty minimal, and it is sure looking good. It looks really cool, all unified as one now. Our roof looking super sleek. Then our poor engine bay that we have to keep blowing the dust off of, but it will be just fine. So this newly added black primer is where we had done some touch-ups. Now we got to sand this again, and after that we are into the paint stage. Alright guys, well that wraps up this video here. We made significant gains. This is really starting to look like a car, especially if we actually put all the pieces onto it. Between primer and paint, nobody wants to watch 100 hours of sanding, so in the next video we are going to begin painting the car and assembling it. Hope you guys enjoyed this vid, and till the next one.